Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So Tokyo Grand Slam is coming up pretty soon, and if you are unaware, the hosting nation is allowed to send 4 athletes for each weight category, and so it's quite a lot of Japanese judoka competing at this event. Not as many as in previous years. For some reason, a couple of categories they've only gone with 2 people, even though 4 are technically allowed to compete. So we'll talk about all of that in this video, but before we get started, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and consider supporting it. There's all sorts of things in the descriptions. And if you need a Kozakura judo gi, reach out to me. But anyway, let's get into it. So Takato, obviously he's going to be the #1 pick for Japan at this moment, but we have Nagayama, who is kind of slowly making a case for himself. So this tournament will be really important, kind of deciding between those two who they send to the Paris Olympics. I definitely think in recent outings, Nagayama has had the better performances than Takato, which is pretty strange. This is kind of, flipped on its head pretty quickly. It doesn't take much for these guys to kind of edge each other out. Takato definitely been in the front for a much longer period of time, but recently, Nagayama, Masters Gold, Grand Slam, Ulaanbaatar Gold, and then Takato just having a few losses in 2023. He lost at the Masters, losing to Kim, and Nagayama ended up winning in that tournament, and also at the World Championships in Doha, he lost twice, not coming home with a medal, so that's a big L to his name. My personal pick for this category, and there's 2 guys I haven't even talked about yet, but Nagayama definitely my #1 pick. These other 2 guys, and we'll talk about them now. The first one is Higuchi, and he recently won the Kodokan Cup in his weight category. Now, I haven't seen much of him. I know he's from Tendi, I've heard great things about him, but I haven't really seen much of him to kind of comment. So there's Higuchi, and then someone who we haven't seen in quite some time, Nakamura. Actually, I take that back. Some people have seen him in 2023. Recently, at Chengdu, at the Asian Championships, he ended up winning that, but the footage is on such lockdown, just like the Olympic footage. I haven't even seen it. So there was that win at the Asian Championships, and then also the year prior, he was Junior World Champion. But 21 years of age now, not a junior anymore, so they're going to throw him out there into these big senior tournaments. So those are the 4 at under 60. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Next up, we'll go under 66, and only 2, which is kind of interesting here. We've got Abe and Fukuda, not the Fukuda that you are all thinking of. This is at under 66, remember? So Abe, I feel like this guy, he's just going to compete twice a year. He's going to compete at the World Championships and then something else. Recently took gold at the World Championships in Doha. So he's just on form. He kind of comes out, does his thing, and then he's quiet. You don't really hear much from him. And then he comes out, does his thing, and goes back into hiding. So Abe for me, he is definitely probably the favorite. But there's also Fukuda, and I will tell you something really interesting. Fukuda is a bit of a newaza specialist. You'll see a little bit of it in these clips here. But Abe Hifumi, one of his big weaknesses is the newaza, and I think defensively he's pretty good. We've never seen him kind of in a position where he's going to lose on the ground. But you never know, Fukuda, strong on the ground. It would be good to see, but I do think if these 2 do match up, I think Abe is a little bit bigger, a bit more physically strong, and I think we see Fukuda go flying through the roof. Right, under 73 now. So of course we've got Hashimoto. Now Hashimoto, he's had some very, very close performances in recent times. Recently lost in the final at the Asian Championships against Yoldoshev. I didn't see that contest, I'm not sure how it went, but there are just a lot of contests where they go really, really close. He plays the Shido game. I don't think it's a secret anymore, I think he knows it, and I think this is going to be just how he progresses going into the Paris Olympics. But I'm actually not going to pick Hashimoto at under 73. I'm going to go with this guy, Takeichi. Now he's at Kokushikan, and they did have Tanaka from Tsukuba. He won the Kodokan Cup, but a bit of an injury, and so they've brought in Takeichi. And Takeichi looks good. It's going to be a big level up in competition. But those Kokushikan guys, so many international judoka are just constantly going to that university, so I'm pretty sure he'll have a feel for it, and we'll see how he does. I think he'll probably show some more exciting judo than Hashimoto, that's for sure. So under 81, and this is another guy who I think is going to be the next Nagase, the next guy at under 81s, it is Amano Kaito from Tokai University. He also won the Kodokan Cup recently, and he's also our recent junior world champion. So he's definitely ready for the international scene. We'll see how he does. I'm not sure if I can pick him over Nagase. You guys know that I am such a Nagase fan. But Nagase, I mean, he's getting up there in age. Sometimes he has some pretty lackluster performances. Lee, I'm not sure if Lee from Korea will be competing at the Tokyo Grand Slam. I'm pretty sure he would be. But, I mean, this combination here, this is the Nagase of old. He doesn't do this stuff anymore. He doesn't string these kind of things together anymore. So Nagase, I'm not too sure. I mean, he's probably training really hard, and the Tokyo Grand Slam is going to be a big tournament for him leading into the Olympics. He'll be on top form, that's for sure. We'll see how he does. So, next up, under 90s, we've got Murao. Everyone knows Murao. He's one of the outstanding judoka at under 90s. Japan has tried to send some other guys out there, but Murao, I mean, he's just been the most consistent, always throwing people, which is a really good sign. Still young, so I'm pretty sure they're going to go with him for the Paris Olympics. We'll see how he does at the Tokyo Grand Slam. I am really hoping to see him versus Bekauri again, because in this first contest, I mean, it wasn't their first contest, they did meet in the juniors, but this recent contest between these two, I did see some really great things from Murao. It did look like he was going to throw him several times, like here. And Bekauri just got him with this one awkward technique, so Murao, I think he's a really smart judoka. He's probably going to get his buddies together and figure out what that technique was and work out how to stuff it for next time. And I'm pretty sure the next time you see these two fight each other, it's going to be Murao. I just kind of think that. I feel like Bekauri, people are slowly starting to figure him out, and I think he relies too much on kind of strength and kind of that young vigor that he has, but that will slowly go away as he goes up in age. So there's Murao, and also Kawabata at under 90s, recent junior world champion, and he's at Kokushikan as well. He's got an incredible drop down Seoinage, but I have a little conspiracy theory kind of going on about drop down Seoinage guys. Japanese guys who are really good at this technique don't do too well in the international scene, just because non-Japanese people have really long legs and it's just hard to get this technique going. But we'll see how he does. He might surprise us. Let's see. Next up at under 100s, and this is a weird one. First of all, there is Ueoka. He recently won the Kodokan Cup at under 100s, taking out Mashiyama. Mashiyama, who was at under 90s, now competing at under 100s. So Ueoka, a similar kind of theory with Kawabata as a drop-down Seoinage. He hasn't had the greatest results on the international scene, but you never know. He might just be starting to find his feet. He may be able to pull it all together. There's also Arai, and I definitely have more hopes for Arai on the international scene. I definitely think he's going to be the guy who will win the Tokyo Grand Slam and may even get picked ahead of Aaron Wolf heading into the Paris Olympics. There's also Ida Kentaro. Not sure why he's even still in the A team for Japan. He's also hasn't really been seen in a while and has been losing pretty consistently too. And I won't put up any highlights of Aaron Wolf, but here is his record since the Tokyo Olympics, and it's 50-50. He's got 7 wins and 7 losses. So Aaron Wolf, I don't think he can pick it up and make it to the Olympics, to be quite honest. And lastly, at plus 100s, we've got Saito, of course. Definitely one of the new big names for Japan. I'm pretty sure he will win it. I don't even know who else is competing at plus 100s. It would be nice to see him against Teddy Riner again before we hit the Paris Olympics. And lastly, another young gun they're sending out, Fujimoto. And Fujimoto, I mean, he's won a contest by Hansoku Make, and I couldn't find any of his contests where he'd won with a throw. So, I mean, nothing to show you guys. We'll see what he does at the Tokyo Grand Slam, but I think it's going to be all about Saito on the day. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's everyone from the Japanese men's team who are competing at the Tokyo Grand Slam. I probably haven't talked about a lot of the guys who have not been selected for reasons. I mean, I'll leave the speculation up to you. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.